Alright, hey everyone. Today I'm going to do Flaming June, a gorgeous painting that I had the privilege of seeing when it was at the Met. It is in the museum, I think in Puerto Rico, Ponce de Leon. And I'm going to do just this quick little sketch just to study it. And it is a beauty. If you have a chance, it's by Frederic Lord Leighton. I would recommend going to see it. But there's also the Leighton House in London, which is equally as beautiful. Alright, that's where the foot comes in. Comes up. It's such a beautiful composition. He did a ton of studies and sketches of this too. I highly recommend to work it out. Everyone check them out. Alright, look at the composition. He just puts... One of the things that got me about seeing it in person was that there was just this caked on caked on paint, like thicker. I shouldn't say caked on, but all right, her foot's down at the bottom. There we go. Bring this up. You keep it abstract like this, it's easier to move. One of the things I tell my students all the time. There we go. All right. Let's get in here and start adding some color. Maybe I'll do it with a brush that is wide brush. Let me put some orange on here. Put cad orange, maybe a little cad red light. Actually, maybe Michael Harding's alizarin claret. That will probably be able to pull the color towards red. Then maybe I'll just add colors as needed. All right, here we go. Take this, open it up, mineral spirits. Alright, so let's start with the orange, because that is what makes Flaming June flaming. That so vibrant. See if I got a rag around that I can grab just so I can clean. Alright, here we go. So there seems like titanium white. Take it in there and just lower the chroma. That seems super vibrant. The thing about chroma too is most of the time you almost never need, I should say, high chroma that is like out of a tube. It's fine to have, but I've never needed something like permanent orange. Just way too chromatic. Alright, let's put kind of medium on there. Just want to tip that color over. Alright. There we go. I just add a tiny bit of mineral spirits just to average. There we go, right there. And just the like like alizarin is what most people will use. I use claret just for alizarin claret. It's more light fast than it's alizarin permanent. All right. Let's just mass in color here. There we go. And then up and over, and then down. All right. Now let's get a little skin tone in there. There we go. Beautiful, beautiful. All right, touch of mineral spirits, loosen it up just a touch. Get that down there. Oh, mineral burn number. Pull it down. There we go. Take this out just to get a little more. Let it clang around. All right. A little bit of white, a bit of yellow. Get a little more of the white. Just lower that chroma a little bit. Sometimes it's nice to have white in there, just to lower the chroma. I don't think orange out of the tube would help. Alright, and then let's get a little more burn umber. And if I wanted to keep the chroma maybe a little bit higher, you can introduce something like transparent earth red. Let's get a little color here. Get her arm in there. There we go. Keep it nice and abstract too. I don't want to get into eyelashes and all that stuff. Really, a lot of people want to get into detail, but they don't have the picture worked out. Really want to work out that picture. All right. Let's get a little. This can even. That's raw umber. See how cool that looks. Let me get a little more burn umber on here. I think it's going to be more in the warm family. There we go. There we go. Alright, and then pull that down. A little black. Maybe it's the red. Yeah, it looks more like the red. There we go. Huh. So you can really get the essence of the picture just by keeping it loose and abstract. You see this study too, and it's very, very much like this. The way that he does faces too is just fantastic. He's basically taking and just making them really playing up the warmth of the face, the ruddies. There we go. Just adds this beautiful, tremendous depth to it. go. And now a little more white. Just suggesting that it's a woman laying. Doesn't have to be articulated. Like, I don't want to put in all the details. I don't think I need them. There we go. There we go. Get this a little in there. Like a little, just a touch of a little something in there. All right, and then get the hand just sitting. All right, and now let's get titanium white. I'm just gonna put it right behind her head. There we go. And it, nobody has to know what it is. It's just a design element. There we go. All right, and then get this over. All right, and now I'm going to take a little bit more white and go over the top of it. I can cake that on. I can even grab a touch of yellow. I want to give it more like a shimmering light. I think that's the way that he did it. All right, and then let's see what blue I have. I don't have much blue on here. Maybe I'll put a little bit of Prussian blue on here. Prussian blue is just a nice kind of cyan blue. I usually go somewhere between that and ultramarine blue, just to, have a variety. Let me get a little bit of ivory black on too. All right, there we go. Sometimes that can be a little oily. Let's take this, a little bit of white, and add it in together, and then see, maybe touch more. There we go. And now let's pull this over. All right, that looks nice and blue. There's like little pops or hints of blue in here too. I'm just gonna dab it in there as little design elements. Now I'm gonna go in between these two and then just try to feather it a touch. I don't want to get into modeling or rendering, but that's kind of the essence of what's going on there. All right, let's take this and bring it in. A little bit of yellow in there. I don't want to make it too, I don't know, it's gonna feel like, all right, get a little raw umber is gonna keep it in the right family. And then here we go, pull this over. Now pull this one down, and let's just maybe a touch lighter. That's assuming that the rest of that is correct. There we go. And bring this over. All right, there we go. See, it's always a series of adjustments, as you're painting to get everything to kind of flow together. But, we're just going for the basic design of the painting. Go touch of Prussian in there just to get that to knock a little bit darker. Let's get this come down. Let's get this over. There we go. All right, and then get this. So I decided to work on kind of a square this time around, just to get it. I think it's a square. Maybe I should have checked, but it didn't particularly matter. I think it's nice to try to figure it out by looking. All right, and then let's get that darker. But, I'm just going to mass this in as a shape. We don't particularly have to know just what it is, and then get a little bit of the red and mix them, because it's trying to show that it's shining through. Then a little bit on the darker red to get this the right. And what that does is it frames it up. Now this could change the rest of it by putting that in and getting it darker. So I have to be willing to change it if needed. I'm going to now go back into the orange and then tap back in here and then just come back in a little bit like that, just to kind of unify it and bring it together. All right, there we go. There's that orange right there. All right. There we go. All right, so it's kind of, the pieces are fitting a little bit together better. All right, now this, bring it over. All right, and now this is going to come in. There's a little bit of red there. Helps to push that under. This up like this. There we go. All right, now let's get the side over here. There's a little bit of a blue right there. All right, just going to get that down. Cool, there we go. And now let's get, it almost feels like that's perhaps a tiny bit too yellow. So I'm going to just bring this up over the top. There we go. All right, and now let's get back in here. And I'll knock that in right there as a shape. There we go. That's way too, all right, way too red, but maybe that'll work like that. All right, a little bit of blue helps knock that down just a touch. There we go. All right. All right, so now there's a nice corner right there that's nice and dark. Let's get that in right there. All right, right there. And then this is a nice dark right there, which frames that up. I'm positive that's intentional. Get a little bit of red in there. So the elements around it are equally as beautiful as as Flaming June in the position she's in as well. I would imagine her name is Flaming June. All right, get that, bring it towards red a touch. And his reds are just kind of impeccable. There we go. All right. Get a little more of the orange. Bring it down into here. A little bit more of this. Let's just try to get the bottom. It's going to be darker, you can see, as the top is, really where the kind of light feels like it's coming down and touching it all. But you take a little of the white that's around it if you want to, and that will help to just knock it back just a touch. All right, let's take this and then knock it down a little bit more. And that just helps to kind of bring the red together. Again, if this were a poster study that I was doing for my own painting, this is kind of what I would normally do, work out the design. There's no sense in, painting the eyelashes in if it's not going to fit into a scene, And that's the thing, to think of the picture. I find a lot of artists used to do that first, and you can work and probably pull it off whatever way you want, but a little bit easy. The way that they used to do it would be this: work it out first, and then figure out how you get all the stuff to, the model and all that stuff. So I feel like I've seen artists work now where they render the crap out of something and then they figure out what the background is for it, kind of different order than I think the way that they used to do it. But up to you, of course. If it works, it works. All right, there we go. Get this down. This now comes down and in. All right, this over, and then that hand now pushes this over a little bit more. All right, and then this knocks down there. And we almost have it, the whole thing, in a small amount of time. Kind of get the painting. All right, let's bring this over. This. Let's just average that. Soften it. There's of course, a bit of green. Let me get a tiny bit of green on here. Just gonna put Viridian on. It's usually my go-to. You can make a lot of colors with Viridian. But let's take that and add it to the black. It's already on the palette. Alright, knock it in. I don't want to get too much in the weeds here, putting all this stuff in. Should get some of the background in. The background looks like a beautiful kind of violet. Add titanium white to this. Get a little of this. Add it together. Add that nice sweetness to it. Alright, get that titanium white down in here. There we go. It feels like the kind of right color. And it really plays up the violet. There we go. Push it darker on the sides. Just keep in mind that you know, he designed the whole thing, so I'm sure he there's a ton of studies that he did for these. I'm positive that he articulated everything. Alright, there we go. Just get the gold at the top. Frames it up nicely. Let's get this. Just dab in whatever these like berries are. That too. Then, not sure what that kind of staff is that looks like it goes up through the back. Get that right there. Now the blue feels a little dark. Let's get it just lighter. Alright. And then there's a pink happening in here. There we go. I bet you it has to do with the story. Or maybe not. Could be a design element. Alright, I'll get some white in here. Alright. There we go. Let's get this over here. And now get a little more of the green, or the whatever it is, the dark orange over here, coming down. There we go. Pull this. Alright, now that red has to get a little darker. This pulls over. Alright, pull this in. Alright, the red. A little more vibrant. Red in there. Interested to see, maybe this one would be great for a bigger copy. Be extremely difficult to do, just because he has. If you've seen Leighton, he's got so much subtlety in his color. But maybe that could be a good one. I don't know. Maybe I'm talking myself into doing a study, right? A copy of it, a bigger one. But you know, that's the beauty of all this stuff. It really allows you to study it, get in there, think about it on a deep level, and then decide if you want to take it any other direction, or is it going to influence your work. There's a sense of light that passes down through here. Get a little white on there. There we go. Again, this is just the one reference that I have. Could be wrong. Go. The yellow helps to balance it. Let's really play the orange up. Really flame it. All right, and now there's just a foot, and it's so dark right there, but it's surrounded by like that, and then this. It helps to frame it. There we go. And then breaking the plane. And then there's a red here. There we go. Right here. It just helps to break up that shape. All right, that's kind of the painting. In a nutshell. I encourage you all to go see a Leighton in person. I'm not usually a fan of tight paintings, but his paintings are definitely gorgeous. And my wife and I went to the Leighton house when we were in London, and it was definitely amazing to kind of see the way he worked. All right. All right, let's get some of the ground, and I think I can call it a day. Run out of titanium there. All right. Maybe that's a little too contrasty now, but knock it back a little bit. Gotta get that shade in too. All right. There we go. Now it's almost there, so just gonna finish up, maybe do the foot right there. All right, and now let's get this over here. Right there. Now this shape, I think it would be a nice yellow. I don't particularly have, so I'm going to make a yellowish color. There we go. It's like a yellow ochre or something. Just kind of acts as that shape, very close, but you know, that's the beauty of doing these two, is that you can now go and find colors, if I did a bigger one, that would inform and be maybe a little bit closer to what I see. So that's about it. That's Flaming June, one of my favorites.